everybody, and welcome Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. How's Denise and Ron? You got your snow shovels out?
We don't have one.
Don't have one.
We left it in Kansas City.
Florida does, do they?
Huh?
I don't think anybody in Florida has a snow shovel.
No,
unless they accidentally brought it with them when they moved.
Well, you can get your little sand shovels out and...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we could. And they could, by the time the sun comes out, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, when it started, welcome to snowy Florida. When it all started, I went for my walk. I didn't mind walking in the snow anyway before. But yeah, there was, literally hundreds of people out.
Right.
So,
looking around and big smiles on their faces and just
Nigel's in there from over in the UK. Move your camera over and show him what you got in Florida. The Sunshine State. Look at that. For some reason, it's all white.
About 5
still
inches.
Coming down.
About 5 inches of snow.
3.5.
No, they said that we.
4.
They said we already had over 4, according to the county. But
and you guys moved from Kansas to get away from the snow and ice.
That's what I thought.
But this is a once in a 50-year event here.
Yeah.
So that means that we will never have to see it again unless we drive to
This is an all-time record.
Yeah.
Anywhere in Florida.
Yeah. I was talking.
Set the record.
I was on the phone with work today and we were having a call and I go, I said, it's kind of like Kansas when tornadoes happen. Everybody's outside looking and, you don't see these people ever. And then suddenly there's a tornado warning and everybody's outside. Well, this is the case here. Ron goes, somebody just walked by our house. He goes, somebody else just did. We walked outside and everybody's outside. I'm like, oh my God.
The kids are running around the snow. They're using their boogie boards for sleds and it does work.
Right.
But I said, I got to see this. I said, let's go.
Yeah, like I said, I was watching JLR Investigates. He was driving down through there. Well, he went through one of the side streets and he's filming, and everybody's on their front porch with their cameras, taking pictures with their kids.
Yeah.
And I put in the comments, they're taking pictures because most of those kids have never, ever seen snow.
Never.
Our next door neighbor.
Never.
And only ever seen a dusting.
All the neighbors, none of them have.
Unless they came from somewhere else.
I know.
The people here have not
seen. But walking
snow.
Around, man, everybody was out there. I saw adults sitting on their front porch in blankets, just looking like and laughing.
They're looking at what history is coming in. Yeah.
What's funny is that
just a shocked look on their face.
All the people that
it was funny
that came from the north and cold, none of us are outside looking at it.
And a bunch of people go.
No, we're like, we're used to that. We came down here. Yeah. I know, but like I said, New Orleans. Oh, I feel sorry for them people.
I do too.
Oh, they're loving it down there.
Oh yeah, there's
tons of people out having fun.
What's funny is that the neighbors that do have a slight hill in their yard, they're going to find out in a few weeks how bad they killed their grass.
Yeah.
HOA is going to be on their ass like stink on shit.
Yeah, they're going to be reseeding a lot of it.
Well, it's centipede grass. It'll grow back.
Oh yeah.
It never dies. It just goes to sleep.
Right.
That's it. But yeah, I'll have to tell you a story later about me pissing off the HOA. But
okay.
He's puking
again.
Uh-oh, we got a sick cat.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's just puking everywhere.
Okay, I didn't see no grandkids, so I know one of them ain't puking.
No. She just puked under the bed. Gotta go. You know what? We got a guest tonight, and I think you guys will really enjoy
right
them.
Under your you just rolled on it.
You guys are really gonna enjoy them. So we got Becky and Tom and their daughter Raven. We used to be on the same network with them at one point in time. And so why don't you go ahead and bring them up and you guys can start talking.
Okay. Hello, Becky and Tom.
Hello.
Howdy.
How are you folks doing
Yeah,
tonight?
so we understand what's going on.
Just a heads up, Becky and Tom are audio only, guys. So we're not just talking to ourselves here.
Right.
It'll work out.
Okay, yeah, we can make anything work.
Absolutely.
So what have you two been up to?
Trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it's cold up here in Northeast Ohio. So temps below 0 with the wind chill. I think it's like
minus 12 right now.
minus 12 with the wind chill. Supposed to go down to minus 20. So good times.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Football weather.
Yeah. Yeah, good football weather, right?
Yep. Oh,
It was
Chiefs.
good
I hope it's
football
snowing.
weather in Atlanta last night. Woot woot, go Buckeyes!
Yeah. Congrats, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeehaw!
Exactly.
OH.
Exactly.
Yeah. Becky sent me a message telling me about Ohio State. Yeah, she sent me a message and I was like, I can't look because she said Ohio State. So I had to cover up my phone and not let Ron see it.
Yeah, I said, what are you doing? She goes, I got to cover it up because they said something about the game. Oh, about an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
I finally get the games. I was watching a little bit of hockey game.
Ooh.
Which we could play easily today. But anyway, they about an hour and a half later, I started the football game. Of course, Notre Dame gets the ball first. And I'm watching that first drive, and I went,
I think, the Buckeyes are in trouble.
I go, 3rd and 1. I said, the quarterback's going to keep the ball. He's going to run it up the middle. And as soon as I said it, boom, there he goes, first down. 3rd and 2. The quarterback's going to keep the ball and run it. That's what he did.
That's
boom, boom, boom. 4 times in a row. Every time they need a first down, I'm sitting there going, I'm telling them what they're going to do. Because they emptied the backfield. And that's all he can do is run it. He can't throw it worth a crap.
No, he can't.
And he just kept doing it. And they went right down the field and scored. And I went, that's what she was covering up. Because I said, yeah, I knew you guys were Ohio State fans. I said, she was covering up. She goes, it had something to do with the game. I said, they're pissed because Notre Dame scored too easy.
Yeah.
And I went, damn, that's not a good start. No, of course, it went our way after that.
Yeah.
It was incredible
at that point. And
I didn't see. I was just watching the first drive, and I went, oh, crap.
I didn't. What was that?
She's whining.
Oh, I didn't read it because I didn't want to accidentally say something to Ron about the game. And so I just kind of covered it up.
Her stomach's bothered.
So how many cats do you have?
3.
And
did she puke again?
I don't know. She's making all kinds of.
Yeah, we have 5 cats. 3 are my daughters. 2 are ours.
She goes again.
We've got a puker too, but she's been better lately.
And she's almost 20 years old now. So she's allowed to puke now.
2 hours is straight puking.
She's
been going out more. I think she's been eating some grass.
That'll do it.
She didn't go out today because you can't find the grass.
See, that's what's wrong. She's upset about the snow.
Yeah, that's it. She's sick. She went, oh, what's that white stuff out there? We left it.
My paws are cold. No.
Well, that cat goes, we left it. We wasn't supposed to get it again, remember?
Yeah, the other house in
Florida.
Kansas. Yeah, I'd take them out on the deck, but she never did like going out when it was snowy or icy. She wasn't one of those cats.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, these aren't outdoor cats. We keep them in, and one of them is my daughter's cat. Decided she is my cat now, and she is like looking out there and going, "Yeah, I'm not gonna run out today. I will stay in."
Yes.
I gave her the chance to run out the other day, and she just like, "Nah, I don't think so." But she brought them from Louisiana with her.
Our poor alligators, I don't know what they're thinking.
Oh, they're probably hibernating.
Yeah,
Oh
same
man,
with your snakes and your alligators and
yeah, the
the
squirrels. I've
bears are
noticed.
going, oh, we got to hibernate like the other up north.
Squirrels will be okay. Snakes and
Yeah,
alligators.
squirrels are
I
all
don't
right. I
know.
haven't seen them out today, but they're gonna wonder where their easy food is.
And all the geckos and all that's probably
Oh,
falling out of the trees. Lizards.
Oh, the gecko. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
Well, maybe
yeah.
the snow will take care of some of them ants you got
Yeah, I know. That'd be all right.
there. Freeze them.
Yeah.
Although they seem to survive anything.
yeah, they
They're
will
hard to kill.
survive.
They're resilient.
Right. So, what have you two
So,
been up to in the paranormal lately?
Well, lately, um, give you a little history. What is it? 8 years ago now or 7? I can't
what?
remember. 17. In 2017, I had a liver transplant. So
Oh,
since then, I'm really the only one that has done any ghost hunting. And my younger daughter, Phoenix, is not with us right now. She's at home, freezing at her house. But
You've gone to some good places, though.
yeah, I went to some good places.
You went to Waverly. That's
Yeah,
something.
her and I traveled down to Waverly. We went to several places out in Indiana. I'm trying to think. Did I go anywhere in Pennsylvania since?
No, but you went to the Ohio State Reformatory.
Yeah, I went to Mansfield, and that was kind of scary for me because after the transplant, I don't always walk well, and I was like, we went across the top floor, and there's nothing there other than this black railing to hold you. And I was like, oh, I'm going to die today. Made it through a transplant, but I'm going to fall off here and die probably. Couldn't hear you.
Yeah, we're listening to you. And I'm running off to clean up more cat puke. So
yeah.
Enjoy.
You
My-
do that.
a bunch of people that I work with live in Mansfield, and they tell me about different things that they hear about it all the time.
Yeah, it's everybody I know loves it. I'm
Yeah,
good friends with one of the people that used to be a tour guide there, and he, his name is Jeremy, and he told me some stories.
But that place is scary just in the daytime. Just to go up to it and you see this, fortified castle looking thing that you would expect to see in Europe someplace. And it's like, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, I
but
know. It's a massive place.
Yeah.
yeah, and then
It's hard to
Madison.
investigate in one day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That place there. It's ginormous. The outside is amazing, and just going in, if you just take the normal tour, like during the day, it's still creepy as heck.
Yeah. I also been to Madison a couple times, and Adam Kimball has that, and he's really done a great job with that place. And,
Yeah, it's an old seminary, right?
yeah, seminary. It was also a few other things too. I can't remember what all, but I know it was a seminary.
Yeah, I tried to go in, but I had an asthma attack, so
Yeah.
no.
Well, that's when you had the migraine.
Migraine. Oh yeah, that was
it was
bad.
a bad migraine. But
Believe me, I understand about the migraine.
Hello, Gary.
Hey,
Good
Gary.
night, Nigel.
Good night, Nigel.
oh, and
See
you and I
soon.
went to Prosper's place, but they had mopped the floor with pine saw before we
shit.
got there.
Ooh.
And
That'll
we go
kill you if
in,
you
and we're with another team that only 2 of their members could go, so there was 4 of us, right? And we go in, and he immediately has an asthma attack. So
Yeah.
he spends the evening outside in the car where the 3 of us ghost hunted. And I'm trying to think, was
I
Phoenix and
think
Mark with us
yeah,
too?
Phoenix and Mark were
Okay,
there
and
too.
Phoenix and Mark were with us, and Mark as of yet still hasn't seen anything. He's a non-believer, and even that night, it would be like he would come in a room and whatever's there disappears, right? So he says he's the guy that makes the ghost run.
Oh, so he is
Ghost chaser.
Yeah, instead
Yeah.
of a ghost
Chase away.
magnet, he's a ghost deterrent.
Right. And she's just like, come in here, Mark, and it goes away. But yeah, we had fun there. You know, it's like I could tell you a million ghost stories. For me, I've been seeing ghosts since I was, according to my mother, at the age of 3. And so my whole life I've been seeing stuff. And I've seen stuff, and because somebody else doesn't see it or feel it, they didn't believe me,
Right.
especially when you're a kid. Yeah, I remember having a cousin laugh at me when we stayed in my uncle's haunted place, and I was like, something's touching me, and I was against the wall, and she was like, "Oh, there's a wall there." Like, duh, there are ghosts. They can touch you wherever they want to touch you, But it turns out, I don't know what she thinks now. She's one of those cousins you don't talk to because she's drama queen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the thing is I'm the cool cousin in my family, so I'm ecstatic about that. I'm the one cousin everybody wants to see.
Supposedly, I'm the cool aunt. So
I'm that too.
I don't know if I'm the cool cousin or not, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that ghost hunts and whatever and had a podcast. I don't know if anybody else in the family that has. And I've probably been on TV more because I've been on TV for other things. Because growing up, I had a childhood disease, and I worked with United Way trying to sponsor to get money for, United Way.
Okay.
So that's why I ended up having to have a liver transplant because of taking medicine.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, my sister has issues with her liver. She had seizures, and they gave her phenobarbital.
Ooh.
And the phenobarbital causes her to have issues to where she, like she can't take Tylenol. The one thing that most anybody can take without an issue, she can't take. So
yeah, it's rough on your liver.
Yeah. I had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, so you can imagine I took a lot of Tylenol, and I took a lot of other things. And then later in life, I developed diabetes. So I was also taking metformin, and that hurts your liver too.
It does.
By the time we got, we didn't realize I was having liver symptoms because we didn't know what they were. And by the time that we were traveling back in the car to Ohio from Idaho, I was having really bad cramps in my back, and I couldn't even help him drive. And and it was just really rough. And then for a while, it got better, and then it just all once I started having more issues and more issues, and I went into liver cirrhosis, of course, and I was having what you call HE, and that's where you have toxins build up, and you blow it up, and I would have what would you call them, Tom? Like I was on drugs.
Crazy episodes?
Yeah, like I was on acid or something.
Oh, yeah. She wouldn't know where she was, and she'd do crazy things, and she wouldn't remember it. And then we'd always wind up taking her to the ER, and they'd do an x-ray and have to, tap her, and she was holding in toxins, and they were causing these, I'm going to say hallucinations, but she was in some sort of fantasy world.
Yeah. And you guys will laugh about this because I most people do laugh when I tell them this, but Trump had just been elected president the first time when I had one of my episodes. And in the car, the ambulance, I remember them asking me what my name was. And I told them Trump. And in my head, I was fantasizing I was Trump. And, and I was thinking about all these things I was going to do and whatever. But I could also, my vision would be like I was only able to see out one eye or something. I had like tunnel vision. And I could see my daughter, Raven. She was in the ambulance too. And I could see her. And I think I know she was my daughter though, even though I was thinking I was Trump. And then I think, I don't know when I finally came out of that, but I wasn't Trump when I came out of it.
Well, I guess that's good. That means that you weren't nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
At
see,
least you didn't think you were Biden, then we would have known you were.
Oh, that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Hillary. Oh, God, no.
well, I share a birthday with Donald Trump, so I get dibs on saying that I'm Trump.
There you go.
So, but yeah, and the thing is since there are some things that are very common amongst people like Donald Trump and myself. We do kind of say things sometimes that with no filter.
Oh yeah, I do all the time.
Oh yeah. So how did you guys get involved in the parent? Well, you saw spirits since you were 3.
Yeah,
I've seen them since I was 4, so we're about the same.
Yeah, I was he was in the military, and I was trying my best to be a good military wife, and I kept my things to myself. That when we would go places, I would kind of ghost hunt, especially when we was in castles. It was great fun for me. And we come back, and we're stateside, and we're in living in Brecksville, Ohio.
Oh, wait, let's go back a little bit further.
What?
The story in Germany.
Oh, okay. You go ahead and tell it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But
You talking about the house I went with?
the house, there was the girl.
Okay, so in Germany, we'll
Yeah.
go back a little bit. In Germany, I did use my gift a few times to there was a Halloween party at our favorite Briscoe, and I did some readings for some of the guys that were coming over to me that spoke English because I couldn't speak German worth a heck. And they would go to Tom then and go, "How does she know that? How does she know that?" And so this one couple, they came to me, and they immediately figured out that I knew how to do stuff. And they were like, "Could you come over to our place? Because we think there's something there." So we go, and I go in and I walk around, and I tell you what, I did not sense a ghost at all. It was something really evil. And they were telling me about how when they leave a rose, he would leave a rose for her in a vase. They were newlyweds. And they'd go somewhere and come back, it'd either be knocked over or the petals were tore apart, and they had no animals. So I was like, okay. So I started going up the steps, and they had like a little sauna up on their stairwell. And I look at it, and there's no steam or nothing. And we go on up, and I come back down, and I look at the sauna, and a print goes up on it. And then me being able to read it in English, because it wasn't reverse writing. It was so I could read it. It said, "Get out." And my thought was, this is not a ghost, guys. This is something worse. You guys need to find a new place to live, and also maybe let a local priest that speaks English talk to you guys. And a priest went in there. They found them a priest, and the landlord found it for them because he had trouble with every American that went in there. And I guess they blessed the house and all that stuff. And they said there was something evil in there. So I don't know if it was a demon or not. I don't like doing that thing when you yell demon. No. But all I know is I don't think a German ghost would know how to write in English, but a devil would, a demon would.
So when you guys met, how long did it take for you, Becky, to tell Tom that you saw spirits?
Okay, it was the first night we met.
Oh, okay.
I didn't tell him nothing.
No, she didn't tell me nothing. We're just sitting there minding our own business, playing pool or something. The cue ball just takes this wild turn in midair and goes right at her. I'm going, what the heck?
He caught it though.
He caught it, but it's like, I don't know how the ball did that. It was crazy. And it was like that every time we went someplace. Something like crazy would happen. It's like, what is up with this?
Yeah. So he thought I was this crazy chick.
She had to come clean.
And so I just told him, I didn't even tell him I could see ghosts or anything. I just told him, weird things happen to me. Sometimes I hear things and see things. So we get married and we are in our duplex at a base housing in Presque Isle, Maine. And which is just south of the Canadian border.
Well, that's like 20 miles.
Yeah, about 20 miles. It was occupied Canada is what they call it for the base people. And so we are, I've been telling him that we had a ghost in the house.
I did not believe it.
He didn't, and a lot of people are afraid of the hat men. Okay, I see a lot of hat men and they don't really bother me.
Yeah,
and so it was a hat man in our house, and he would like to move stuff around. They are Mississippi, and he would take like all of my hand towels and all that stuff and rearrange them with the bath towels. Or he would move plates around in my kitchen to where I didn't want them to be, different shelves. So I'm telling him this for at least a month or two. And
that's crazy talk.
And he was like, crazy talk. So we're getting in bed one night, and we had these like really nice satin sheets and comforter, and all was he's screaming like a woman.
I scream like a woman, yeah.
And I remember I had right before he covered my head up, I had saw the ghost or whatever you want to call him, hat man, in the closet. But I didn't think nothing of it because I saw him all the time.
The silhouette of this, I'll say apparition, shadow, whatever, standing right there is like, oh my God, it's wearing like a boulder type of hat, round on top with a small brim, and just like super black. Just, it was darker than everything else.
Blacker than black.
Yeah, it was midnight black. It was wow. In the dark, you would have saw it.
Right.
It was that. I'll say menacing, but it wasn't menacing. I just screamed like a woman, covered our heads up,
and I'm like,
we never saw the ghost again.
Why'd you do that?
I was scared. I don't know.
And he goes, I saw him. That's all you can get out is I saw him. So I'm like, you saw who? So then, of course, because I wasn't scared, and I uncovered our heads, and I was like, see, he's gone. And I remember I even got up and went over and put my arms in the closet, but I never did see him again.
Yeah, I'm a ghostbuster.
He screamed and scared him, and so he was gone.
That's the last time I screamed at a ghost, or what I thought was a ghost.
Okay, so Tom, were you involved? Did you want to be a paranormal investigator, or
it never crossed my mind? I didn't even know paranormal investigators existed.
Yeah, and this was in that. What year was that happened?
Oh, that was in the late 80s.
Yeah, because we got married in 85.
So it must have been 86 or 87.
That was in 1986.
Yeah.
And so then now you come forward in time, and we're living in Brecksville, Ohio. And I had went ghost hunting I had saw something, and I said, Phoenix, let's go. You want to do this? Because Raven was working, so she couldn't go. And she was like, yeah, sure. And we went, and both the girls are gifted. And then so we went, and we had a blast, and we come home, and of course we're not, she was a teenager, so she was, I think she was 16 at the time, and so she's not stopped talking about what we did. And he said to me, he says, you know what, we're not in the military anymore, and we're not trying to do this or that, why don't you just start your own ghost team? And because at the time I was thinking, boy, I want to join a team, and I was like, and he's like, you're talented, so why join somebody else's team? Have your own team.
You don't need anybody else.
So that was the birth of Lantern Paranormal. And I chose that name because for some reason people come to me for things, and I can just be sitting somewhere minding my own business, and spirit will show up. And so I was like, oh, I'm like a lantern. I'm a light. And so that's why I went with Lantern Paranormal. And then Tom can tell you, things about, people coming up to me.
Oh, yeah. It happened constantly.
I it can be in the grocery store shopping. And
the funniest one, though, we're at the VA.
No. That's still no. I want to tell that one. You have to make sure you use proper language if you tell that story.
Will.
Okay, go ahead and tell that story.
Yeah. And we happened to be sitting at the VA in the waiting room because I was there for one of my, appointments.
He had eye surgeries.
Yeah. And, there's a bunch of other old veterans there. And this one guy sitting next to us all of a sudden starts talking.
No, he came over and sat down next.
Yeah, well, he came over and started talking to Becky specifically. And he was asking questions like of a very sensitive issue. Like,
yes, I saw your face. Yes.
Yeah, like taking the little blue pills. Do you think that
got
might
it.
help?
So,
Like,
Evie,
whoa.
we got it.
Well, but me being me, did I go to her aid? Of course not.
No, you just
I
sat back and
laughing
watched.
hysterically, and I walked away.
Yeah, he didn't say like, my wife shouldn't be talking to you about this.
She's got this.
So he was asking me about that, and I was like, well, you should really talk to a doctor, not me. And then
thought you were Dr. Becky.
Yeah. Then he was talking, well, what can you tell me about my girlfriend? He goes, listen, I see the light, and I heard the voice told me to come talk to you.
Yeah, and that's what happens.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then he said, I need to know about my girlfriend. And I was like, well, tell me about your girlfriend. And she was like 40 years younger than him. Wanting him to have a joint account with her and have his check deposited into it.
No.
This doesn't sound like a scam at all. I think it's
no, not at all.
So I gave them my advice that, how long have you, I was like, how long have you had your own? And I was like, really? If you're not married to this woman, do you really need to have a joint account? And so I tried to give him advice without telling him that he was being scammed. And so I don't know what happened to the guy, but he thanked me and gave me a hug. And I was so happy because they finally called Tom's name, and I rushed and got up and said goodbye and went with him back into his eye appointment.
Good. I have to tell you, that sounds very similar to some things that happened to us, because we'll be out and we'll say things. We'll just ask somebody how they are, and they proceed to tell us in graphic detail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like it's written on my forehead. Please tell me your entire life story. And it happens way more than it should. That's something that's probably going to happen on this
if I was just a normal person. My daughter, Phoenix, was going to school, and I think she actually had just graduated. And she had a lunch monitor she was really fond of, whose son had passed away. And she brings her to me while we're at the shop that we were getting ready to do a show out of. And she's like asking me, she goes, Mom, can you help her? And this lady's go, oh yeah, I see your light. And that's the thing that always gets me. It's the ones that come to me and they say they see this light. You know, because I would ask my friends, I go, "Do you see a light?" And they're like, "No."
Do they ever ask or ever tell you what color light it is?
Most of the time, it's golden. A few times, it's been like a green or a blue, but most of the time, it has been golden. And I'm just like, you know, okay, you know, because I know when they say that, and I'm very religious, I will say, okay, I know that I'm supposed to help these people, you know, whether it be one person, sometimes it's 2 or 3 people that come together. I was working, I really don't like doing actual readings because I'm not a tarot card reader. I don't know how to use them. I don't know how to use oracles, but I have taken them and read and had a person that does do cards say, "Whoa, yeah, that's exactly what it's supposed to mean." How I know it, I don't know. But I was sitting up and I was just having people come up and I would hold their hand and talk to them. And I told the person that was running the event, you know, if I can't read somebody, I want their money, give them back to them. And she's like, no problem. And so I was reading this lady and I wasn't getting anything. And her name is Marge, and her and I are good friends. So I know she won't mind me saying her, at least her first name. Yeah. And she was, you know, upset with me, and I think she was about to cry. And her husband was with her, and I was like, "I'm sorry," and she's like, "You're fake, just like everybody else," and she starts to walk away. Then all the way, oh, we can hear all that, Tom.
I know.
Please stop. And we could, I could hear her. Oh, I'm sorry, he threw me off there. So I heard this voice all at once. This voice is saying, "Oh my God, you know, I don't want my sister to cry." And he said his name to me, which that I'm not going to go into here. And I said it to her. And
That's
she
the
turned
best
around.
Part of the story.
No, it's not the best part of it. So she turned and she looked at me, stopped crying, and, you know, immediately she come over and hugged me and sat back down. And she's like, "Does he have anything else to say?" So I told her what all he had to say. And she said, "I was the first person to ever make contact." And at that moment, I realized something, that I have a talent to help people that, you know, that I didn't want to charge. So I think that was after that event, I've never went back to an event to work other than I did a local one to help out a friend that was doing her first event. And I went. And I think that's the last time I charged was then, right up here. And so, but I feel some kind of guilt in it because God's sending people to me. I don't feel I have a right to charge. You know,
that's taking the high road.
Yeah, I don't want to make money off my gift. You know, I just want to be able to help people when I need to help them, and that's it. You know, and
I've had similar things happen to where a spirit would come to me and I have no clue who they belong to. We're in a group setting.
Hello, April.
And eventually I figure out, you know, we figure out who it is, you know, because I'll say something to somebody and they'll lead me to the person it belongs to. And sometimes in those public settings, it's just hard to speak up.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want people to think that you're the weird person at the event, at the thing that you're at. You know, you don't want to be at a wedding and have all your focus be on the dead people that came to the wedding.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to focus
that
on
problem.
the live people.
At my own daughter's wedding this past summer, I felt the presence of all the grandparents. And it was really rough at times concentrating on the wedding and not watching my parents and his dad around the young couple and being happy.
Right. I've witnessed the same thing with our niece's wedding, and it didn't make it hard for me. It made me happy to see that no matter what was going on, that they could still partake in the festivities, because these are their grandchildren in this case, and they wanted to see their grandchildren get married. Well, they did. And so I look at it from that standpoint. And sometimes, we did another wedding. I was the officiant. And after the wedding, we did have one of Ron's uncles decided to make an appearance. It was his son that was getting married. But his ex-wife showed up, his widowed wife showed up after the ceremony. She wasn't even there for the damn ceremony. And he's standing there as we're talking to her. And he's a ghost. He's sitting there making all these faces and saying what a bitch she was. And I'm just sitting there going the whole time. And then this same uncle, this same uncle, when we went to a family reunion, and we were up in Iowa, and his
cousins were drinking very heavy.
Yeah. And he comes out and he says something to me. Well, Ron's cousin, a different cousin, says, well, what do you think Larry would say? And I said, he said, you're a dick.
He
laughed and walked away.
I think,
why would he say that?
I think the hardest thing for me
Mom knows who it is.
Was right after Tom's dad passed, and he passed while we were still overseas. But then when we came back and we went to, like Easter dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, and stuff like that, he doesn't anymore, but he used to would show up. His dad would, and to keep my mouth shut because I didn't want to upset anybody, but his dad would be there, and. By the time we moved back to, his mom had started dating, and I didn't want to upset her either about he's here watching it, I didn't want to.
Yeah, would that be creepy? In your bedroom, he's watching.
Yeah. So I didn't want, and his mom, she looks younger than what she is, and it's just like whenever him and I got married, people thought she was my sister. So so it's like and thankfully I have got the gift of I have no wrinkles yet. I'm 61, proud of it, but no wrinkles yet. And my kids all look like 10 years younger than what they are. My daughter is 27, my youngest one, and she's still getting carded because they think she's 16. So it's like my other ones in her 30s. What's wrong?
I look young too.
Oh, I'll get to you. Don't worry. So we go to darts. We play darts, right? And we'll be talking to these people, and we're talking to these guys that look way older than him or me. And they'll be like, when they find out that he's 60 and I'm 61, they're like, well, wait a minute. I'm only in my 40s.
Like a gray hair.
And they look older than him. So it kind of freaks them out. But he doesn't smoke. He does drink, but he doesn't smoke. And I think that makes a big difference too.
We're in the same shoes. I'm going to be 60 in June, and Ron is
40.
Right?
Nice one, Ron. Well played.
Yeah, his social security check says different.
Wow. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah.
So,
I scammed him.
Yeah. And we've also been married since 1984. So
a year
it will
before us.
41 years.
Yeah. So we were 85.
So there you go.
Yeah, we met in March 15th of 85 and was married by July. And he asked me to marry him 2 weeks after we met. So that tells you just how spooky a chick I was.
He wasn't that scared.
Nope.
Or it's either that or he was so scared that if he didn't ask you that you would curse him with something.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ron.
That's the thing. I don't know if you have the same problem. You know, a lot of, I mean, like I said, I'm a Christian. But because of my gifts, I'm also considered a witch by a lot of people.
Your gifts are misconstrued, is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I
People
just say,
wanna
yeah,
judge.
sure. I just say, yeah, I'm a Christian witch.
There's
You know?
witches in the Bible.
Yeah.
I just tell everybody, no, I'm not a witch. I'm a bitch, but I'm also Christian.
I've said that a few times too, because
Yeah.
I definitely am.
I'm gonna remain.
I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it. You don't sound like you could be a bitch.
Oh yeah, I was before the podcast started.
Oh,
Got it out of the way.
Yeah, I got it out of the way. He let me, but you know what? He let me know he could be one too. So he gives as good as he gets.
okie dokie. I got it.
Absolutely.
You know, when you've been married for 40 years, you got it down.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
So your 40th wedding anniversary is in July.
Correct.
Yep.
So what are you gonna do?
Man, we can do special for your anniversary, Tom.
I don't know. I'll just be happy to wake up.
Yeah. Both of us. So what happened? Let's see. Well, 2 years ago, I went to a dart tournament and I was just watching. I wasn't playing. And Raven had moved back and she had decided to pick up darts and play with us. And so the two of them were playing, and there was a woman there that was coughing her head off. And next day I was coughing and I ended up having pneumonia. And then I went from that to just trying to recuperate from that, I think the whole next spring, wasn't it? And then the following, not this Christmas, but the Christmas before, I caught COVID. His mom and his cousin had came to one of my dart team's darts, and they had COVID and didn't know it, and they gave it to me, and then they gave it. Well, first Raven got sick, and then I got sick, and then Tom got sick, and so I was feeling better. I got the medicine that you take, and within 24 hours, you know, I got well right away. But Tom, when he took his, he was still in agony.
I will never take Paxlovid again.
Yeah, and I had a different one that they gave me that I was supposed to be able to take because of the transplant, and I can't remember the name of it.
I'm going strictly Tylenol and Jägermeister, and that's it.
And
you know what? If you drink Jägermeister every day, I guarantee you won't ever get sick.
You'll
just be pickled.
That's right.
Well, no, one shot of Jägermeister is like living in Europe for so long. Jägermeister is the cure for everything.
If you keep talking, I'll forget where I go with my next part of my story.
Okay, so we're going from COVID.
Yeah,
you
so
got better and he didn't.
Then I got really sick again, and of course I didn't realize what it was. It was my liver telling me it was rejecting. And so it turned out that the COVID attacked my liver. And so for almost this whole past year, I was fighting, trying to keep my liver. So, and that's what my daughter, you know, getting married and everything. So finally I got the all clear, I think about August, wasn't it, Tom?
Okay.
And then something else happened to me.
You can't keep track.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, for basically a year, and then my back went out on me, and then I had to have more steroid shots then. And it's just been like, you know, for the past year, I feel like I've been fighting to get my life back. And it's just now, of course, now we have this freezing weather, and I can't go out and do anything now that I feel better.
Well, you know what? Now you need to stay away from everybody.
Oh,
Stay
definitely.
well, so that in 2 months from today, the first day of spring, you can go out.
Definitely. It's like my dart team. I don't let them hug me. We don't shake hands. We used to, be a thing. I think I did let them because they hadn't seen me in a while. This last week, I had let them all hug me. But I'm like, if you've been coughing, stay away from me.
Oh yeah. So you think COVID was trying to help you reject your liver? Because you said you had a liver transplant.
Yes.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And and you have to take rejection medicine for the rest of your
Yes.
life, right?
Yes, and that lowers your immunity.
Oh yeah.
So whenever they had to put me on the steroids, it lowered it even more.
Yeah.
So during that time of taking the pill form of steroids, right, I could not go anywhere. So I was stuck in the house, and I didn't hear from my liver doctor for a while after I did my last blood test, and I didn't have any more refills for the steroids, right? So I thought, oh, I must be okay now. And so, the wedding was coming up. We did the wedding, and they started me on Monjaro, my diabetes doctor, and she was like, yeah. She goes, I don't see anything saying you're still in rejection on the paperwork, the files. And so I see this liver doctor in August, and they're like, oh, they're like freaking out because they didn't double check everything.
Well, they should have been.
I slipped through the cracks, I guess. So I had to have a second. I had already had one liver biopsy to see if I was rejecting. And so then I had to have a second one to see if I was still rejecting. So, I was like, oh, okay. All right. I had 2 liver biopsies in 1 year, which, was not fun. And the only thing fun about it was that I was on fentanyl when they did it. So no pain, no nothing. And then he said, I'm like the only person they ever had. Every time each doctor has said that whenever I've had to have one, I'm allergic to all the morphine and all that stuff. They told me that most people fall asleep when they give it to them. And I lay there and tell dirty jokes.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, what dirty jokes am I telling? Because I don't remember it afterwards.
Have them recorded.
Yeah. Next time, take your cell phone and leave it on under the bed. But yeah, with mine, they always give me, what is it? It's something that I told Ron. I said, if they give me this, I'll mow the yard in the snow, and I wouldn't even care.
Yeah.
And that stuff works great.
They like giving morphine. I know that.
Yeah, I can't use morphine. It gives me a horrible headache.
Tramadol even.
Tramadol has been outlawed.
Really? Because they're giving it to my daughter right now.
Yeah, they told us that. Oh no, that's not outlawed. My cousin's brother died from it.
Oh.
Yeah, allergic reaction or something.
Yeah.
Allergic reaction.
Old guy.
Oh.
Dan's brother.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It's his half brother, so he's not my cousin. With his dad, not his mom. So I know my cousin's brother, not my cousin.
Allergic reaction.
He was 82, and
we'll go with that.
Yeah. But then Raven, she moved, like I said, she's moved away, and then she's back now, and she's living with us. And she decided she was already selling artwork online. And all once she was like, oh, I like playing games. So she got on Twitch and was playing games. And then she was like, wow, I can make money doing this.
And she has.
Yeah.
What? How well would Raven like to come on and promote her show?
Yeah, I was going to switch places with her, and she could tell you about the ghost experience that they had. Why
Perfect.
doing the show
Okay.
that they do.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Raven.
It was pandemonium here.
Are you
Hey,
back there?
April, just a heads up, we have more snow than you do.
I'm here. Hello. Did you fall asleep? Yeah. She fell asleep. She wasn't listening to us.
Oh wow.
That's okay.
I'm
I'll get
sorry,
Raven
You're that
hooked up
exciting,
here.
huh?
You need some more medicine, Raven?
Yeah, I could go.
Okay, we're gonna do some medicine. I'll let Raven explain.
Getting some headphones on so I can hear you. All right, there we go. I am now in the microphone chair. Hello, I'm Raven.
Hello.
I know I sound a little deeper than Mom. Like I would answer the phone growing up, and everyone would think I was her sometimes, or she would answer the phone and then be like, "Raven, can I speak to your mommy?"
You did Phoenix the same way.
Yeah, they would do the same thing to Phoenix.
Oh,
But
yeah.
and I've been sort of listening. I was napping not too far away. I promise I was listening.
Oh,
but,
it's okay. We know that, when you're not on, it's like, okay, I'm off. I got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Raven, you have a show. You want to tell us
Absolutely.
about your
Wait,
show
Dad,
on Twitch?
I can't hear. I'm sorry. Could you say that again? Dad had to.
Tell us. I understand. Can you tell us about your show on Twitch?
Oh yeah, so I stream whenever I can. I got a little health condition going on right now, and they got me on some medication, which interferes with my ability to sit for 3 hours and entertain people. But what I do is I am a what is known as a VTuber. I don't show my face. I am what VTuber stands for virtual YouTuber, but I
Okay.
do it on Twitch, and I have an avatar, like a cartoon mascot that represents me.
Mhm.
And I go with like a cryptid theme. I had been using until very recently a deer skull mask with antlers, and I wear like a really pretty dress, and I go by Red Toxin. REDTOXON.
Okay.
And I use Reddit. I read Reddit quite a fair bit. And I was reading the cryptid subreddit, and I never once called myself a Wendigo, but people do the am I allowed to cuss?
No F word.
No
Not
S word.
really.
Oh, no F word. Okay. The colonizers' bastardization of Native American folklore of Wendigos. So like, being a what is they're calling it now as a not deer, and they they're like there's a large push in this community to take Wendigos out of being considered cryptids, because folklore wise, mythological wise, because like they're religious creatures, so they go under mythos. They are a spiritual animal. By definition, cryptids are creatures, not spiritual beings. And so Wendigos aren't cryptids. And even though I've never called myself a Wendigo, people have assumed I'm one, and I'm taking a step away from that, because the last thing I want to do is offend any Native American. They have suffered enough.
Right.
And yeah, and so I'm stepping back from that, but my goal is to create a very welcoming community for everyone, where everyone can just have a fun time for 3 hours, where and we just hang out and chat. And about once a month I have my dad on.
Yeah.
And we do what we call bar talk, and things get a little more crazy because he starts drinking.
Well, that's
Right.
the theme. Like for Christmas, we did the 12 beers of Christmas.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, we did
How
do the
many
12 beers of
followers
Christmas.
do you have on your Twitch channel?
Pardon?
How many followers do you have on your Twitch channel?
I just hit 210 a few weeks ago.
Awesome.
Yeah. I average I average during the live show, I average about 12 to 20 active viewers, but
Uh-huh.
overall I have 70 plus people that watch my videos.
Good.
Yeah, so like I'm still, I'm not big time, but I do have a standard amount of people that keep up with me, and my community is very healthy. We have a Discord server, and everybody, everyone's pretty active. They're very supportive. They've been very supportive during my health condition, and they're very much looking forward to the next dad stream.
Right. Have you ever thought about going over on Rumble?
I actually have not heard of Rumble until like last week, and somebody
Really?
brought it up. I've heard of Kick, but like there's this big YouTuber, no, the Twitch streamer, big Twitch streamer that did sports betting, and
Right.
he went to
Oh,
Kick
wow.
for about 6 months, got his paycheck, and went back to Twitch. So I'm like, Kick might not be the best replacement for Twitch.
No, they do a lot of gaming over there on the Rumble channel too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
So-
have to look into that.
And you get paid from Rumble.
All right, awesome. Like immediately, or is it like Twitch where you have to like? Because I already get paid on Twitch. I hit affiliate after a month, and
Uh-huh.
so I'm not gonna go into how much I make because one of the things is I don't really like talking about there's a story for it. Is I don't like talking about religion, politics, or money.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And it's because like this guy was deserted on an island full of parrots, and he taught them all how to talk, and he got rescued. And the guy was like, that rescued him was like, why aren't all the parrots fighting? And he's like, I didn't teach them to talk about these 3 topics. And so I just kind of like, you know what? I'm not gonna bring up those 3 topics whenever I'm doing my stuff.
Right. But on Rumble, all you got to do is have 5 people follow when you create your Rumble channel. 5 people to follow it so you can go live on it, and you can monetize as soon as you go live.
All right, so that's a lot like how YouTube operates. Is YouTube does kind of the same thing. At least it used to. I don't know if I haven't messed with YouTube in like 8 years, so I don't know if they
YouTube, you got to have so many viewed hours and so many subscribers and everything before you even start getting a penny.
Talk about what happened.
Hell, I've been on YouTube for years and I've not seen a dime. So,
Right. But
and I don't care
Rumble,
if I ever do.
Rumble, you get paid every time somebody views, and if they comment on Rumble, it adds up.
Just a second. Tom wants to say something. What's up?
Yeah.
Oh,
We got a cat
in-
just
in-
puking every 2 minutes.
in lieu with you guys being a a paranormal show, we do want to talk about the paranormal encounter we had while we were doing a dad stream.
Yes.
During bar talk.
During the bar
Yeah.
talk.
Tell us about it.
So,
yeah.
whenever we were doing the 12 beers of Christmas, we actually had a surprise 13th beer of Christmas. Technically, it was going to be our 12th beer of Christmas, but Phoenix had showed up for about an hour and she brought an extra beer. So what I was going to be our 12th beer turned into our 13th beer. And okay, so we had a really good friend of ours, John Melody. He had passed away of cancer.
Another ghost hunter.
And I had set up on the channel because I'm an affiliate, so I have channel redeems where people can redeem things to do stuff. And we had one for a toast to John, where people can just they do that, and we do a toast to John, and it was just that's how we celebrated his life. Was with that, and he kind of my dad had already had a little too much to drink at this point, And he's like, "All right, we should do this last Christmas beer." And I'm like, maybe not, Dad, maybe not. And he's snickering to himself and he's trying to get it open. And I don't know, it was crazy. He lifted up into the air and was flung backwards out of his chair. And like onto the floor. The beer was fine. No alcohol crime was committed.
We did break a glass.
You did break the glass. You did take the cup with you.
Yeah.
But the beer was untouched. And he was just sitting there on the floor and he's like, "How did I get down here?" And I was looking at him the whole time. I was much more sober than he was, and I still don't understand how he got there. And all I can think is like, John had some battles that he was doing, and I think he was kind of looking out for my dad. And he was just like, you know what, Tom, maybe you did have enough.
Maybe I did.
Could have
It
been.
was hilarious, though, looking back. I was
Looking back.
unhurt, which was good.
It was hilarious and shocking, probably at the same time.
Yeah. Oh,
The
absolutely.
glass wasn't.
Yeah, no, the glass.
But
wasn't,
it was Red that saw it happen, so she got a better view of what happened. And like I had no I mean this we're sitting at the bar right now, as we are right now. We're sitting at the bar.
God,
Right.
she's puking again.
Yeah, cats will do that. Maybe
Not for hours.
Ew, yeah, that's not right. Yeah, take away the food. But yeah,
Foaming now.
that was definitely a paranormal night that was kind of
Oh, I'll bet it was. So is that the only time you've had a paranormal experience while doing a podcast?
Oh yeah. Well,
no, like we've had other things too. Like
yeah.
one of the times we were at Hillview Manor, and we were actually with John's girlfriend, Danielle, fiance. She was your girlfriend at the time. Now she was fiance. Danielle was with us, and her and they were like, Raven, you've been monitoring the stream. You've been monitoring the stream for a bit, and my dad and Phoenix were like, let us take over for a minute. Or no, Phoenix took over for a minute because Dad was still roaming the building.
Ugh.
But Danielle and I were wandering the halls, and we were walking, and we hear this horrible sound, and we like jump out of our skins, and it's just Dad opening the door.
I did that, but
he opened the door and met up with us, and we were like yelling at him for spooking us. And then like things fall silent for a second, and he has those Zoom recorders where you can both hear and record at the same time, and he's plugged in. I believe I had one plugged in too. Danielle didn't have anything like that on.
I had my headphones on also, so I heard everything that happened, and
there was a growl, and it was like,
and of course, what I say is, did you do that?
And I'm like, no, did
Danielle, did you do that? Did somebody's stomach growl? Maybe.
We spent an hour trying to create that sound again. Like one of us went upstairs to the direct above and like jumped around. We opened and closed doors. We went into all the rooms around trying to find a source of that growl.
So we went down to where our command post was at Hillview, and we played that sound back, and it wasn't a growl at all.
What was it?
It was this is weird, but it was a ooh, like somebody was making a ghost sound. But I definitely heard a growl. Everybody else heard a growl, but when we played that sound back, that EVP was like somebody was making a fake ghost sound.
It was like the ghost was making fun of us for getting scared
That's
at the
what
door.
Exactly.
was my thought. It's a sarcastic ghost, and it's,
Yes.
we've had that happen.
But definitely an EVP that happened and it was spontaneous and like, what the heck? It was
That's
crazy.
okay. We have a friend in the chat room that's got an EVP of a ghost making fun of us for spilling coffee.
Oh, nice.
The thing is we didn't spill it. We didn't know how to use the coffee maker, and it kept overflowing. and we cleaned it up multiple times.
We had no clue.
Yeah, I have no clue. I don't have a coffee maker. I don't make coffee.
Don't even know how.
So yeah, but yep, it had a good time with us. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
Sit there.
My mom wanted to remind me of like the first paranormal experience we ever had when we were ghost hunting. And this is kind of what like kept me solid into paranormal investigations until I just couldn't take it anymore. Was we were at the Rogers house in
Okay.
Rogers, Ohio. It sadly is no longer exists. The guy wanted to expand the septic tank for his gas station.
okay.
But we're upstairs and there was this room called the bridal room. And my sister and I go in there, we had like an Echo Vox, and the Echo Vox is like, "Get out, bitch." And we're like, "What?" And then it went, "Get out." And my sister and I looked at each other and we were like, "You know what? You don't have to tell us a third time. We're getting out of here."
So, where everybody else had went down to the break room and was watching the monitors, so they were the only ones up in the top floor ghost hunting at that time. And we see them making these faces at each other and reacting to something, and then running like all heck. And when they got down the steps, we were laughing at them and said, "Did something scare you?" And they told us what they heard.
Oh,
But we were laughing at the two of them because this is like it wasn't the first time for Phoenix to go with me, but it was for Raven. And so they, it was fun watching them be scared.
so Raven, you got out of the paranormal. Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
For me, it was a really good thing. I battle with mental illness is a constant everyday struggle, and it's not schizophrenia or anything, but it does. If I get really paranoid, it will give way to hallucinations. And so for my mental health, it's just best that I don't get back into the paranormal.
Good for you.
Because like one, I'm on like medication, and like if I see something weird, I'm like, is that me or is that real? And there's just a lot of second guessing, and there's also a lot of very questionable people in this community that would take advantage of me if I was in a not good state. And I've seen it happen to other people. I'm not going to name names.
No, please don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to even allude to any situations. I'm going to keep it incredibly vague. That it's just, I personally don't think the community is a healthy community for people with acute mental illness.
And I agree. There are a lot of people out there that will and do take advantage of people that don't have mental illness. So
Correct.
I can imagine that mental illness would be easy pickings.
Yeah. And I've seen some people with very questionable mental health that should be seeking therapy instead of seeking ghosts. And but they don't, and they just kind of slowly de-evolve, and and they're not thriving.
Or they
Right.
even think they have powers that people are saying that they do, but they really don't.
Yeah.
The other problem there is that people will sit there and they will feed into instead of feeding into your mental illness and saying, hey, maybe you need to get help, leading you down the path of saying it's all paranormal.
You're possessed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're possessed, or whatever it is,
Well,
it's gonna be worse for you.
With that same premise, we have ghost hunters out there that everything is a ghost.
Yes.
Every orb is paranormal. Every sound is a EVP. Which
Yeah,
is
by
not
God, it can't
true.
be the squirrel in the attic.
Exactly.
I
We
know.
weren't called the Skeptic Sanctum for nothing.
Right.
And that was our biggest deal. When our friend that we brought up earlier, John Melody, when, we'd go ghost hunting and him and I would go out and, we would never find anything. We would never get any EVPs. It wasn't that we weren't looking. It just didn't happen.
Right.
And, for whatever reason, and him and I have been in some spooky places. The House of Wills here in the east side of Cleveland is probably one of the scariest places that, I've ever been in. And to have it's an old funeral home that had a lot of connection to violence, mob violence, prohibition. It went through a lot of different things, but it was in civil rights. Yeah, it was in a predominantly black part of the city. They said even Martin Luther King went there to meet, city leaders there one time. But they're walking around the balcony and having a 4x4 come out of nowhere like it was thrown.
Oh yeah.
And that like, John, where did that come from? Tom, I don't know. We didn't have it on camera. We're just walking around going, oh my God, well, there's nobody up here. There's only 2 rows of seats and nobody hiding over there. So this 4x4 came out of nowhere and boom, like almost hit us.
Know all about that.
But
not a 4x4, but a
scary place. And it was wow. But
so
stuff happened.
What was when you had the Skeptic Sanctum? What was one of the biggest myths you guys dispelled?
I think it was orbs.
Yeah, orbs. Yeah. We called them what? Dorbs?
Dorbs.
Borbs.
Yeah. Borbs.
And warbs.
And
water vapors, bugs, or dust.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into a room and all of a sudden you take a picture and there's a million orbs everywhere in the picture. Like
it looks like a snowstorm.
That's not happening. I mean, it's one thing if you have an orb, like follow a path and go into something and disappear. I get it. Okay, you may not be able to explain things, but just having a bunch of random dots floating around, they're not ghosts.
We had that happen one time. We were at the Belvoir Winery, the Odd Fellows in Liberty, Missouri, and I took a picture and it looked like a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this place
was dusty.
It was full of dirt. It was dusty. It was windy. It was cold. It was humid. So more than likely dust and water.
Exactly. But our best fake show when we did do those was fairies.
Oh yeah.
It was what?
Was
fairies?
Fairies. Oh, it was Raven's boyfriend at the time. He played a fairy expert.
Oh God.
And the interview was just simply amazing. He was like he was like spot on. I mean, if this guy was an actor, he got the Oscar for best performance because he was fantastic.
Was he
And-
very serious the whole time?
Oh God, yeah. He was like, Tom, you must understand. You cannot mess with them.
Yeah,
it
we've
was
heard
fabulous.
some of those people, and they weren't acting.
No.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. We need to remember that. But as far as dispelling stuff, orbs was probably our biggest pet peeve. But when we talk about shows that we did in the past, the fairy episode is still one of my favorites.
I think the
So-
Horizon of Vancouver's one was also.
Oh
pretty
God,
good.
yeah. I mean, we made up sponsors, and Raven discovered had this app that you could plug in names. It would give you a fake company name, Horizons of Vancouver. And it was a travel agent. Well, we made it into a travel agency up to the northwest part of Canada and the United States for Bigfoot hunting. And their motto was, "No one has ever been eaten by a bear
Yet.
So good times.
That
But,
sounds like crap I would come up with.
But that was the Skeptic Sanctum. I mean, we wanted
Better than some
to
could say.
we wanted to parody the paranormal world, but when we had guests on, it's not like we would never disparage a guest.
Right.
If they had
Right.
something to talk about, it says, okay, you're a lunatic crackpot, and the moon is not hollow. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
And the birds are mechanical.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
That's my favorite one.
Oh
The
God.
birds are
Yeah. So I mean, but when we were doing the Skeptic thing, and Raven was doing the writing, and she was and I think she realizes it now, but she was a great writer. And I told her whatever she wrote, I would say. And I think 95% of the stuff that she wrote, I said.
Oh, well, Raven, you got your dad wrapped around your finger.
And it's only when comedy is involved.
Oh yeah.
I am a comedian at heart, and he's always like Raven, you should do stand up, and I'm like I'd get out there on stage, I'd stand there, I'd have a little chair, and I'd grip the side of the chair, and I'd be like, oh man, I should have went pee before I came out here.
I think that's a great skit right there, man. You were on target.
And then I'd leave.
Yes, you would. And everybody go.
It'd be a short show.
Where did she go?
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh, I said the F word. Sorry. Oops.
No, I don't care about that. It's just the F word.
Yep.
Just don't
Okay.
let the F word.
Right. It's done. It's
So-
already passed. But anyway, no, that was the Skeptic Sanctum. We wanted to parody the paranormal world, even though we were in the paranormal world, have fun with the paranormal world, but we never disparaged our guests or people we interviewed.
Right.
Do you remember Frank Lee? He was on the network, and he would do parodies for commercials for
Oh, yeah.
Ross or Cat, and some of them he talks about paranormal teams all wearing their matching black shirts and all kinds of other stuff,
Oh,
and it
yeah,
just
that's
makes me laugh my ass off.
Nice. I don't think I listened to his show.
That might have happened
had-
after we were fired.
No, this was before. It
Whoa,
was when it had
okay.
Casper.
Oh no, yeah.
He was on Tuesday nights. So I was Monday. He was Tuesday. Cat was Wednesday.
You were Fridays?
I was Monday.
I don't remember exactly, like,
No, I told
No, I don't either.
because one
I
of the
don't-
thing with the show, like, I sadly didn't really get to listen to much of the other shows. Like, I didn't get to listen to you guys because I was working whenever we were doing the podcast at first, and I worked second shift, so
I
I was always
understand.
working while everyone
Right.
else was on. And I think it was Thursday nights
Yeah.
I think
Thursday night was our night.
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah, you guys were Thursday, and then Friday nights was the people down in Texas that could hardly ever pay their internet bill. I forgot who they were. I'm serious. They were, and he was retired from AT&T. I was like, how in the
I
hell?
remember you guys. But I don't remember the other names.
Well, the thing is I stuck with Ross until he fired me. But he had told me he was taking the network down. Yeah, he told me I didn't have any work ethic, and I'm like,
if you look on our banner,
he fired everybody.
If you look on our banner, you'll see that we actually parodied Ross.
I bet you
That'd be easy to do.
They should all be canned, and that's on our banner because we're either that good or that bad. So.
What's funny is the day that he fired us was the day whenever he had his first stroke, and it was so funny.
I had my stroke.
Yep. It was.
Oh
because you came in. We started the show, and you came in, and you're like, my stomach is really upset, and I'm like, I think we have to take Tom to the emergency room, everybody. His tummy's upset, and like he looked really pale. He didn't look right. He's talking about being numb. So we ended the stream, and he messages me while I'm at the emergency room, and he's like, "Look, I don't want you guys on the network anymore."
Wow. That's Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think was I writhing on the floor and says, "What's wrong with you, big man, baby?"
Yeah. No. He earlier, like months prior, he had sneezed and like bruised a rib, and I get up because I was working on the show. I get up and I walk over to the couch where he's writhing on the floor. Hands on my hips. I'm like, "What is wrong with you?"
I sneezed and I hurt my.
I like, I am nice when people are hurting, but I can gauge very quickly how bad an emergency it is. And the thing with him is that if I can get him laughing, I know he's not dying.
Oh, okay.
Oh God! But every time I laughed, it hurt more.
Yeah.
She was punishing me. It was torture.
Oh, believe me, I understand. I sneeze and it hurts every damn time.
Oh yeah. But no. So like it was actually very refreshing to like get fired. Because then like my mom had spoken about Roger Chambers earlier. He took us in and we did our own thing. We moved to YouTube. We were making 78 cents a month.
Solid.
Yeah, that was more money than we ever made under Ross.
Oh God, well,
That's
no,
true.
Ross paid us a couple times.
Oh, he did.
Ross
I don't
probably
remember that.
even made
I never
you guys-
saw any money.
No,
Didn't he make you pay for your Skype?
Everything.
Yeah.
He paid for the group Skype. Yeah.
Yeah.
He paid me for Skype.
Yeah.
See,
That was
did
the only thing.
Personally, I feel like he should have just done everything through Discord. Discord is such a one, it's free, and two, it's a much more easier program to use, and there's no government backdoor agency that can hack into it. I don't like Skype. It is a very unfriendly program to use, and I'm happy
we don't use it
anymore. Yeah, I was very relieved.
Yeah, we haven't used Skype since I've been on here.
Been a while.
Yeah.
So I do not miss it. It was a pain in the ass program, and
Yes,
they always had to do updates. It seemed like as soon as we turn on the computer, another update.
Yeah. And it was, I'll tell you, almost all of those updates were safety features because of how easy Skype is to hack.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So
that's what I said.
Where can everybody find you guys? Raven, tell them your handle again and how they can find you on Twitch.
Hold on just a second. What, Mom?
The lid. It's right there.
Oh, the lid. Okay.
Yeah, your cat is causing trouble now.
Dio always causes trouble. We're still on. We still keep my mom keeps the Skeptic Sanctum Facebook page alive. You can find it. You can find the Skeptic Sanctum there. She shares paranormal news, paranormal memes, and like paranormal teams. So that's the Skeptic Sanctum on Facebook. You can find me. I don't use Twitter/X. I don't believe in our AI art overlords, as I do artwork as well. And AI art is not people art. So I moved to Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a very nice program. I'm Red Toxin on there, REDTOXON. And I'm also the same on Twitch, twitch.com/Red Toxin, REDTOXON.
It's 2 words, right?
Yeah, no, it's one word on Twitch.
One word, okay.
And I do like you can find, if you use Discord, you can actually find the link to the Discord through my Twitch. And I post updates to when I'm able to stream and stuff on the Discord server. The Discord servers are just really nice. They're very efficient. People can talk about whatever they want to, but it's mainly video games in there because a lot of my viewers they watch me for the video games. I play things like Minecraft, Warframe. I tried a little bit of Destiny too, but I didn't like the jump puzzles.
He's made me play the games too.
I have made him play the games
and people
too.
make fun of me.
What about Roblox? What do you think about that?
Roblox is actually I'm 34. Roblox is a little after my time, like so is Fortnite. But I kind of like Dress to Impress and Void Fishing.
Okay.
Dress to Impress is actually really funny. It's very popular, and Dress to Impress on Roblox. You make an outfit based on a theme, and the people in the lobby will vote for you.
Yeah, Piper does that.
That's what our granddaughter does.
Yeah, she's been playing since she was 4.
All day and all night.
Wow.
Oh, that is wild. But what I like about Roblox is you can play anything in there. It's not just one game. It's a bazillion games. There's horror games. There is creative games, survival games, RPGs, shooters. It's kind of crazy.
It is.
It's very addictive.
Yeah, I saw in there that they had a Nightmare Before Christmas theme one, and so my grandson loves it. But yeah, my daughter Lacey, she's 30. Let's see, what year is it? She's 38. Well, she'll be 38 this year.
Mm-hmm.
And she plays Roblox with Piper.
That's cute. I like
from
that.
Vegas. Yep. And so that's one way that they spend time together, 2 to 3 hours a week on Roblox.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. That's actually that's a healthy amount of screen time. And the thing about Roblox too is depending on what they're playing in there, it's like Minecraft. It actually can actually be good for development because they're getting exposed to what is going to be the market norm later on. Kids that were really efficient in Minecraft went on to engineering and stuff like that and are making like building computers and stuff like that because they were building computers in Minecraft. And
bunch of people I know, that's how, I know the president of one of the gaming companies because we used to work together at Sprint.
Okay.
Forever ago. And he moved out to California and became the head of this big gaming company. And the thing is I can tell you his name, but I can't tell you the name of the company because I don't play those kinds of video games. But one of the games that their company created went viral right before COVID. I forgot what it was called.
I don't know.
You just need one game.
Yep, that's all they needed.
That would be like, was it Valheim? No, that went viral. No, that went viral. But that was a Norwegian company. Was it Among Us?
No, it was some kind of game. They were shooting and all kinds of other crap. And if I remember it, I'll send it to your mom.
Okay, yeah.
So, but it's about time we gotta go.
All right.
So I would like to thank you guys so much for coming on. It was very nice meeting you, Raven. And
Likewise.
Tom and Becky, I know this is the first time we've ever talked, but yet we've been in the same circles for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Hold
well,
on, let me give the headphones back to my mom so
Yeah,
she can hear you.
Thank you so much for having us. This was.
No,
this
Thank you
was fun.
guys
Hold
for
on.
coming
Sister
on.
can't Mom can't hear yet.
So hopefully you
Okay.
guys had
Yeah, you can sit down.
Nope.
got you guys a little bit busy while you were freezing.
Yeah, Becky's almost here.
I
Putting on
think Becky's always
headphones.
almost there.
There she is.
I'm back.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
we're
Our
here.
mixer only has 2 headphone channels.
Yeah, and I couldn't hear anything because, you know.
Don't worry, we understand. We don't wear, as you can see, we're not wearing headphones. I just use the speaker and the computer. So, but would like to thank you guys so much for coming on and being
No,
our
again,
guests.
thank you.
And anytime you'd like to come back on, just reach out. We'd love to visit with you some more. Maybe talk real paranormal instead of weather and
Everything else.
other stuff. But the weather is paranormal today, at least here.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
And
Oh, it's also those times as the snow's blowing across the street and it's like there's ghosts everywhere.
yeah. I mean,
oh,
how many
well,
times has the whole country been in a deep freeze? You know, this is making history.
oh yeah. Well, my son-in-law called, because he has to work tomorrow. We babysit the kids, and they said, yeah, they're opening Target late.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, so I don't have to go in as early. And I said, okay. And he goes, right now they have the official snow at 8 inches for here. So we blew
Yikes.
away the old.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
The old
goodness.
one.
You said the old
Wow.
record was like 4 inches or 3
Yeah.
inches?
The old record was 4, and now it's 8. And it's not
you
done
guys
yet.
got it. Wow.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah. The Weather
Well-
Channel was saying 3. Denise said 4, but
I looked it up and I found that it was
her
4.
internet is more accurate.
Tom
Yes.
works at the federal building downtown Cleveland,
Uh-huh.
and he already said he doesn't have to go into work tomorrow because it's closed.
I only work down there 2 days a week.
Yeah.
so
This time he gets to work at home.
So work from home Wednesday, huh?
It is no pants day.
So don't stand up on video. That's
Oh, no.
No Zoom
usually-
calls like that. No.
I mean, it's like they can call it the perfect storm. We usually don't get that much rain in the winter here. We get the moisture comes up from the Gulf. It's usually in the 50s this time of year, 50s
Yeah.
and 60s. So we just normally get the rain. Well, this time, we can feel when you guys get those Arctic fronts that come in, we can feel it down here because it gets in the damn 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're freezing our ass off in the 40s. Well, this time it got down even further. It's down into Tampa and that.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, yeah.
trying to remember the last time I was TDY to Tyndall. I don't
Yeah.
remember what month it was. That's in the Panhandle somewhere.
Yep.
yeah, that's down by Panama City.
Panama City, just south of it.
Yeah, we just went by there. Hurricane Michael did a lot of damage down there.
Florida.
Oh,
Tore
dude.
it up. That in Mexico Beach. And
I
we-
was talking about hurricanes. I was actually in Biloxi, TDY, when Hurricane Katrina hit.
Oh,
So
wow.
that wasn't fun.
Yeah.
No, that was not fun because that wiped out the
That was a nasty one.
All
Yeah,
the casinos were
Yeah.
done.
And the
Oh,
kids
yeah,
and
they
I
had
were in Turkey, and we didn't hear from him,
Oh,
so we were worried. His commander was worried, and so we were waiting for him to come back. When he did get a message to us, he's going to be on a plane, right? And so we go, and his commander and I go downtown, waiting for him to show up in Adana, Turkey, and so he wasn't on the plane. And he's like, don't worry, Becky, we're going to find him. And so we go back to the base, and Tom's like standing out in the front yard of our base housing there. And, I'm like, see where you're supposed to be, because we were scared, And his boss was like, I'm so glad you're alive, Tom.
Oh yeah. Well, Biloxi's where the
That was
the
pretty
weather
good.
planes fly out of
Yeah.
Keesler there. And
Yep.
Right.
of course, we know it's mostly an admin base, but that's
No, that's where I was to school at.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
did you
just
have to
went
go
there
back?
last year.
To finish?
Yeah, I went back like 3 months later, and it was still a mess. All the casinos were on barges in the
Yeah.
Gulf.
Mhm.
They were lifted up and moved across the street, so they were still using torches and welding type torches to cut them up because you can't move them. They're
Right.
huge.
We,
And I even still saw a car in a tree.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I tell
Yeah.
you, when we know, I remember watching that because I did cleanup for Sprint in New Orleans, so I
Oh,
know
God.
what we had to go through. But in Biloxi, I know that they were just supposed to open that weekend.
Yeah,
They're
we
supposed to
were
be opening weekend of a
we
Hard
were
Rock
just in New
Casino.
Orleans 5 weeks before Katrina.
Yeah. And and before why the storm was still hitting and we still had power, we were listening to one of the radio stations, and these people were trapped in their house. They had gone up into the crawl space in the attic, and the water was still coming up. And it turned out they didn't make it. But to hear that live, on the radio, I was
Right.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was bad. And then when we went back, there was a captain that was in my class, and her family, she was stationed there and had bought a house and was renting it out.
Mhm.
So we went back and we were helping her clean it out. And she was explaining the water came in and took everything out.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything, all the
saw-
furniture, the clothes, toys. The only thing left was like the refrigerator and the freezer, and they still had like spoiled meat and stuff in it. And it's like,
I
Oh,
hate to interrupt, but I have
God.
to say, hi, Phoenix. Our daughter, that she just found the show.
oh,
Oh,
hello,
Phoenix is in.
hello, Phoenix number 2, because Phoenix number 1's been in here for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
From our
Oh, we
network.
got 2 Phoenixes. Woohoo.
We're on fire tonight.
All right.
Right.
He said it's almost quitting time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
please, everyone, please join us next Tuesday night right here for Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. And I will find you a special guest, and we will make sure that we have a lot of fun, because it's going to be our last show for a couple weeks, or well, at least for a week, because
Yeah.
we're taking a vacation, and a real vacation.
You're
Well,
shoveling
no
snow,
computer.
right?
No snow. Well, if it snows in Cozumel, then we've got a problem.
Right.
We're going to
Yeah.
be on the equator.
It
And
could.
then
Never know.
yeah, you never know. And then join us here every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central for Paranormal Pride.
After today, I'd say about anything's
The
possible.
Paranormal Pride. And my guest on Monday is going to be Connor Biddle. So we are going to be talking to him about paranormal encounters and everything paranormal that he does. We've pretty much been to most of the places that he's covered, and then he's covered some that some of us have never heard of. So it'll be good to hear Connor. He's been being recommended to me for at least 8 years, and I finally reached out to him and asked him to come on. So we're going to do that next Monday. So make sure you guys join us for that. And just remember, you can catch us everywhere that you're catching us tonight. You can make sure you come back and check, and that's where we'll be.
Yeah, thank you
Carl?
for having us.
Right.
Thank you
We
guys for
wanna
coming
thank-
on.
We want
Good
to thank
night.
Temple of Phoenix
Night.
Rising
Night,
Entertainment page and Things Network's Facebook page, which I'm a chapter of Things Network. Denise and Ron's a chapter of Things Network. So we want to thank them. Also, check out Dark Realm TV app on your Roku devices and on your Amazon Fire Stick, where you can find our shows. So everybody check that out, and we'll see you next week here on Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. Everybody have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Stay
night.
warm.